In this video, we are going to show you the summary of Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. So let's start. In a small village in Spain lives a middle-aged man named Alonso Quixano, who spends most of his time reading old books about knights. He reads so much that he slowly loses touch with reality. His mind fills with dreams of chivalry, honor, and glory. Finally, he decides to become a knight himself. He gives himself a new name, Don Quixote de la Mancha. He chooses an old horse named Rocinante and selects a simple village woman named Dulcinea as his noble lady. Dressed in old armor, Don Quixote sets out on his first adventure, believing the world is full of dangers only a knight can defeat. Very soon, he mistakes an ordinary inn for a castle and asks the innkeeper to make him a knight. The amused innkeeper plays along, and Don Quixote believes he has officially become a knight. He promises to protect the weak. On his journey, Don Quixote meets a farmer beating a young boy. Don Quixote forces the farmer to stop, believing he has saved the boy. But as soon as he leaves, the farmer continues beating him. This shows how Don Quixote's actions often fail in reality. Soon after, Don Quixote is beaten by traitors when he demands they declare Dulcinea the most beautiful woman in the world. After returning home injured, Don Quixote recovers but quickly prepares for another adventure. This time he convinces a simple farmer named Sancho Panza. Sancho hopes to become rich, so he follows Don Quixote, riding a donkey while Don Quixote rides his thin horse. The two make a strange pair, one dreaming of glory, the other thinking of food and comfort. Together they travel across the countryside. One of the most famous events happens when Don Quixote attacks windmills, believing they are giant enemies. Despite Sancho's warnings, he charges at them and is thrown to the ground. Don Quixote insists an evil magician turn them into windmills. Their journey continues. Don Quixote fights sheep, thinking they are enemy soldiers. He attacks travelers, believing they are criminals. Each time he is hurt or defeated, he explains it through magic or enchantment instead of accepting reality. Sancho begins to question him but still follows. They meet many different people, including innkeepers, prisoners, and travelers. At one point, he frees a group of prisoners, believing he is doing good. But the prisoners turn against him and rob him. Meanwhile, people from his village worry. His friends, including a priest and a barber, plan to bring him back home. They trick him by pretending to be characters from stories, and finally manage to take him back to his village. But his madness does not end. In the second part, Don Quixote and Sancho go on more adventures, now becoming famous because people have heard of them. A duke and duchess invite them to their castle and create fake adventures to laugh at them. Sancho is even made governor of a small area as a joke, but he surprisingly rules with simple wisdom and fairness. As time passes, Don Quixote grows tired. Finally, a young man disguised as a knight defeats him in a duel. Broken and weak, Don Quixote returns to his village. At the end of his life, Don Quixote slowly regains his sanity. He realizes his dreams of knighthood were not real. He gives up the name Don Quixote and becomes Alonso Quixano again. He apologizes for his actions and dies peacefully. Sancho Panza feels deep sadness because he loved Don Quixote's spirit. The memory of Don Quixote remains as a man who believed in a world better than the one he lived in. The story shows a man dreaming of heroism,